Dozier and Brown set to jump it up. And we are ready to go. The second championship in the O'Reilly Auto Parts Puerto Rico tip-off. The Miami Hurricanes won the first one last year. Dozier wins the tip. Anderson controls Memphis basketball.
Well, Memphis is going to go right to that dribble drive offense.
Toss into Taggart and a takeaway. C.J. Anderson looking for some help. And again, the length of the Tigers so tough defensively. Rebound by Dozier, and it's Memphis basketball. Anderson aggressively to the goal. They get the foul on the floor.
You know, at the beginning of the year, the question was going to be who's going to be the point guard. They didn't have Derrick Rose. They tried Willie Kent, maybe Wesley Witherspoon, possibly Robert Sally. But I think the guy is going to have to be Antonio Anderson, not because he's the best point guard on this team. He can take care of the basketball. He doesn't turn the ball over. He's been in big-time situations.
Donnell Mack to the goal, and he's fouled. He'll shoot two.
I think you're right. They were spoiled last year. I mean, Derrick Rose has only come along once every 20 years. And if you look at this Memphis team and you take away CDR and Derrick Rose, this is your typical long, athletic, defensive-oriented Memphis Tiger team that John Calipari's had. I do think they'll struggle to score some because they don't have Derrick Rose. But as you were pointed out, they are so long, and they're going to get back to being that really good defensive team that I think they didn't get enough credit for last year.
Yeah, exactly. They score in three ways. Great turnovers, get in transition. They're a great offensive rebounding team. And then they score in the half court. But playing their defense, that's how they generate their offense.
Donnell Mack, 1 out of 2. Donnell Mack, the one guy that's been hitting from the outside for the Tigers. Derek Brown. And they swing it back to Brown. The Tigers just so long and athletic, and it bothers so many teams. Anderson hanging as the shot was contested, but he's able to follow and get the Musketeers on the board.
You look at guys like C.J. Anderson that play inside at 6'5". They have played against bigger guys their whole careers, so they know how to make contact, hang in the air, and he's a good, solid player.
Tyreek Evans in and out, and Xavier the other way.
Well, I'll be surprised tonight if Xavier, especially early, gets a lot of easy looks because they're playing with Dante Jackson, who's not really a point guard as well.
That game winner from half court, Fran, as you mentioned, his only field goal in that Virginia Tech game.
That's one of the things that they missed with Drew Lavender as a point guard last year. He was the guy that would pick up defensively. He would be able to get in transition, make easy passes, get into the lane, and give easy shots for the Xavier players.
Dozier has it deflected off his hand, out of bounds, Xavier ball.
Watch this. I talked about C.J. Anderson. Watch him hang in the air now. He's going to post up. He bodies Evans, and then he's got that little double pump move that I'm sure he's been using since elementary school, because he's a guy that doesn't have the length but has the strength to be able to play around the hoop.
You know what's interesting? You look at a great freshman like Tyreek Evans coming as a high school All-American. This is probably the first game that he's ever played at where a guy is just as tall, just as strong, and just as athletic. He's probably never been posted up in his life. And C.J. Anderson, first 2 plays of the game, goes right down to the block.
That's a great point.
Dante Jackson aggressively to the goal. They get Robert Dozier with the foul.
You know what's funny about that? I had a chance to work with Tyreek Evans this summer at the Nike skill camps. He's a great kid. He loves to be coached. But when you're that good in high school, your coach is always telling you, don't foul. We need you on the court. We need you to score 40.
We need you to score buckets.
Yeah, now John Calipari's saying, hey, would you guard the guy?
Hubert, I thought it was impressive the transition he made from game 1 to game 2. They were kind of running with him the dribble drive charge offense because he was really struggling offensively in his first game, but he made the adjustment and was distributing in game 2.
Well, in Tennessee Chattanooga, when he was driving, he was looking to score, and he had 4 charges. In the second game against Seton Hall, he went in there and didn't predetermine what he was going to do, allowed him to create, pass the ball to his teammates, and he had 6 assists, tied for the high in that game.
Sean Taggart aggressively grabbing the board, couldn't follow, and now Xavier basketball.
Xavier is an outstanding rebounding team, and as is Memphis. So the key for Sean Miller is to make sure you keep Taggart off the glass.
To the goal, Brown can't get it to go. Love fought for the board, but Mack comes away with it and gives to Anderson.